are going to come on today's session. We're having a conversation as a follow-up to the International Women's Day, particularly the theme that has to do with give to gain. And we are trying to catalog stories of women who have had career longevity. And you stood out as one of those people who has had a very enriching career. And it's important for us to learn some of the highlights of your career. A very enriching career over 3 decades, which is quite impressive. We're going to unbundle the story of your journey in order to have some learning points and also leverage on how you've been able to give to gain career longevity. So welcome to today's session, Mrs. Mbano. Thank you for availing time to be here. So thank you. I'll go straight to the question. So how do you feel about the theme of International Women's Day 2026, which is give to gain? What does it really mean to you? What resonates to you about that theme, particularly at this stage of your career?
Well, I don't see anything I have given as something I prepared to gain for. It has always been instinctive, but I know in life that no given comes without a reward. Mm-hmm. So in that light, as I look back now, I'm beginning to see the rewards of what I gave, the sacrifices I made without any expectation. All I wanted to be was the best. There was a slogan my father used to tell me. He said, whatever you do, do it so well that no one does it better than you. And so it always carried me to give my best, even with the challenges of natural challenge of motherhood and family care. I always came up with strategies to survive it. So from when I was in private practice to when I joined the ministry, I didn't let my femininity, my role as a woman, stop me from giving my very best. I wasn't expecting any reward. I didn't sit back and say I'll get a reward, but I started seeing it with the respect that came, that people started noticing that this is a hard worker, this is a go-getter. On some names I never attributed to myself, I gained them. And then people wanted me to mentor them. I get calls for people who want me to mentor them. And so in that sense, I understand, the theme resonates with me, but it's something that has come with maturity, not something I prepared for.
Okay, that's really interesting. And you've highlighted something that I probably want to pick up. It's the ability for a woman to position her career influenced by the people around her. Because you mentioned your father, you also mentioned people who began to notice the impact you were making within the professional circles. Can you speak a bit about the role of the people around you, how it also spurs a woman to possibly thrive in her career or maybe even limit her ability to thrive in her career? Can you speak to that a little bit more?
Yes. Parenthood is one and marriage is another. I think parenthood is more important because that's the foundation of it. So my father was a hard worker. I come from an academic family. My mother was also a PhD holder. So he was known in the academia as the grandfather of strategy.
Wow.
In the sense that he believed that in anything you did do in this life, there is a strategy for success. And so I've also held on to that. And during his burial event, I said that this strategy for life is what had guided me. He didn't prepare me for every situation I found myself, but those things he said and those things he lived by, this doggedness in everything he put his hand to, so helped me. For marriage, my husband was just ordinary. He was proud of my success, but he didn't drive me to succeed. Every man wants his family life to come first, and that is also important because in family life, is not well balanced, then it will affect work life, no matter how you you think you are successful. So saying that he was always very proud of me whenever I do well. He would tell everybody, and that gave me a joy that spurred me on. So in that sense, those two men in my life, gave me the motivation to push through. Yes.
Okay, so I want to delve a little bit more into your career. So tell us a little bit about public service. So what role have you seen that public service, mentorship, and knowledge sharing, particularly on across the professional spectrums you've engaged in, what role has your being able to engage in the community also come back to open doors for you in terms of creating opportunities for you as well? Because you mentioned that people have been coming to you for mentorship, you've been an advocate for strategy, you've been involved in public service. How have you seen that the ability to give in terms of being available to be a resource to the legal community, the professional committee, has also in turn, one way or the other, created opportunities for you?
Well, I started my public service career actually in a parastatal.
Okay.
I was, yes, River State, the publishers of the Tide. That was where I started before I transferred.
Okay.
So the spirit in me was already at work, and I started a column, a legal column.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was just 25 then. Yeah. But it's so they Tide on Sunday. And so where I talked about law topical issues, landlord tenants, matrimonial causes act, and all of that. So people started talking about me, knowing me there before I transferred my service to the public, transferred to the full stream public service. And there, I also had a flair for writing. Sense that because I was in the prosecution department, you had to write legal advice, which were like mini judgments. And so by the time I wrote a few, they started noticing me that my flair for language and communication was exceptional. So, so I started attracting the interest of my bosses, and they started using me more. I don't know whether that answers the question. So that was how I started to build myself. Then another time when I was able to add value was when I was made the director office of the public defender. After when I left the department, I was director of public prosecution at a point, and then I was now taken to the director office of the public defender, which was a unique one because it's like an NGO within the government where you defend the poor, the indigent. So it's a unique arrangement that the Attorney General of Lagos State brought into. So you can see a state council in one ministry doing a matter in another state council. So that way, that also gave me an opportunity to go wide, telling people on having legal clinics where I could talk to people that there was available legal services, and the turnout was superb. You see people who are blind, deformed. There was a particular case that really gave me joy. It's a simple case, a house girl who was working for a professor, and she was to pay her 10,000 every month, and she was accumulating it for her. At the time, the girl lost her father and needed that money to go home. And the woman said she would not pay. It was 300,000. She was not willing to pay all of it again. And it appeared she was even using the girl whenever her colleagues need help, she would send her there. I don't know whether they were paying her. She didn't want to pay. So the girl head of that office of the public defender, and they came. In fact, she went to legal aid and they sent her to the office of the public defender where she came to report the matter. And I called the prof and I was saying, Madam, this is too embarrassing. The money is too small. This is our entitlement. I wouldn't want this thing to escalate beyond There and then, she sent the money right into, she wanted to send it to my account. I said, no, send it to her account. We are waiting by 4 before we close our business. Eventually, she sent the money. And the girl was so happy. She was asking me how much she would give me and all that. The joy she had was something I couldn't explain. It made me understand that in any little way you can add value. And I'm sure she would tell other people who are helpless, who don't have opportunity, who will be cheated. If the girl was not smart, or she could have lost that money somehow. She'll give her 50,000 and she'll lose it and cry and go. So those were one of the things that made me happy, because it's not just that I had made a name, so it was easy to draw people that I'm in the office of the public defender now. Come and look at what we are doing there. And I was so happy when a colleague came, because the place was decrepit, it was bad. He came and repainted the place. It was awesome. When you come there, you wouldn't believe that it was a place for the indigent. So I was able to ride on my previous reputation and knowledge, and it was good. Yes.
Now, women usually navigate several seasons of life: family responsibilities, career breaks, health challenges, leadership transitions, and you've been through all of this. So how did you manage these seasons while ensuring that your professional momentum is increased? And what particular strategies helped you stay relevant and confident during these transitions? So I want you to reflect on those key transitions. I mean, from moving from DPP, and then you're in the Office of the Public Defender. There's also incidents relating to how you manage family life and career, and how you've transitioned these 3 decades and you are still relevant. What are those things you've done? How did you manage those transition seasons? What were those strategies that you implemented, and what's helped you maintain confidence? Because something like a health challenge, there's some women who suffer the health challenge and then they found it's almost challenging to get back because they've lost confidence. They feel like, okay, I've been out of practice for 5 years. Where do I start from? So what were the particular things you did with specific reference to your situation, 1 or 2 instances you can refer to, and maybe what you can also recommend based on your exposure as someone who has worked in DPP and the Office of the Public Defender? What are the things that you are exposed to that you believe you can give as a hint for women transitioning seasons and maintaining their professional momentum?
That's a very packed question. Yes, I was always self-motivated.
Okay.
On a lighter note, there's something they used to call my father. It's an Ibani, it's Igbebiri. It means unshakable. In Igbo, you will say, Ekwe Ekwe. That's, he doesn't agree. So that was my mindset. Every day I wake up in the morning, I do a list. Plan 1. And then there will be like 6 steps to achieve that plan. Plan 2. Even if I can't do it that day, I just keep writing them. I just keep writing them, no matter how bizarre it is, how far-fetched, I just keep writing. And then every day I open it and see if I can do 1. I must achieve 1 or 2. And as I did this, something that appeared impossible started becoming possible. Okay, for women, they say we know that baby friendly is the best. And I used to go to court, and I would stay in court because I was a somewhat junior, so I would stay for such a long time in courts. And and with the baby friendly, you can imagine what happens to my clothes and what will be happening to the baby and all that. But I didn't let that stop me. Like I see some lawyers here, any little thing, they just stop work or something. I thought of what to do. I had read that some places they have creche in the office. They have gyms in the office, things like that. And I was just thinking, okay, if they don't have a creche, I'll bring my house girl to the office. I'll bring her to the court. So I take my baby to the common room during court sessions when I feel her. or he might go and feed and go back to court. That's where I could concentrate and give my best. So even as I began to study corporate administration and work-life balance, I was propagating that crutches and such things should be made available in offices so that women can give their best.
Yeah.
Because that is work-life balance. If the family life is not okay, let's not deceive ourselves. The woman cannot do well. So I always believe that there's always a way out. Then, actually, when I was removed from DPP to Office of the Public Defender, I felt that it was a decline in my career, in the sense that the Office of the DPP comes with more clouds, more demand, more importance than the Office of the Public Defender. So I was determined that it shouldn't be so. And that if a person is running such an NGO, it's very important. So someone said, they gave you an NGO to run and you are lying back there. I said, it's true. So when I went to Lagos, I went to visit the Office of the Public Defender in Lagos. Wow. And I stayed with them for 3 days. Wow. And I listened. I watched, I learned. And I came and put to practice what I was learning. In fact, when I was there, I wasn't the director. It was like a setback, career setback.
Wow.
How the public office can be, you can be accused of one or two things, and the Office of the Public was a place to throw me away.
Wow.
So I was just an ordinary person. But I went to Lagos, I went for that 1 week course, self-arranged 1 week course, and came back with lots of material. My director was like, I wasn't a director then. So as soon as he retired, I was now brought in. And I used what I had to make some changes. So I saw every setback as an opportunity. 2 days ago, it was just 2 days ago that I had a knee effusion. I've been having terrible knee pain. My office is on the 2nd floor. People were saying I should apply to go downstairs and stay downstairs. And I said to myself, but staying downstairs won't really give me the opportunity to exercise and train my legs. The younger lawyer there came to tell me that she wants to apply to leave the department because she's just about 40. I'm 56. That she can't. I told her I did a new effusion yesterday. I said, you came to work today? I said, why not? So she doesn't have the drive I have. She just wants to be ordinary. And no ordinary person makes it. You need to be exceptional. You have to be too hardworking, too desperate to succeed, too ambitious, ordinary, and make it and make a mark. Ordinary people don't make marks. You have to be desperate about something to make a mark. And so that's how I have been able to ride through some of these issues of life. Wow. Yes, another thing I used to my advantage is that as I left the DPP's office, my brain was on fire. That place is mad. And I said, okay, I have more time. In spite of all that, the creativity I was adding to the Office of Public Defender, I needed to do more. And that was when I applied to do my PhD. And I didn't want to go to a public university because I knew the future was too bright and that I needed to be fast to get that PhD down so that when something comes up, it won't be a hindrance. So I had to endorse it.
Yes. Okay. I want to ask a question on the back of this comment.
I hope I answered the question.
No, you have, but I want to ask a question on the back of this comment, this most recent comment. You mentioned that you saw that the future is really bright and you wanted to maximize how, in terms of the intensity of the ideas that you had, and you decided to do a PhD. And you mentioned that you were already in your 50s. Can you speak to the fact that women actually put limits to their ability to achieve things because they get to a certain age? Because ordinarily, somebody who will say, okay, I'm in my 50s, what am I? I'm almost, maybe I should be winding down. Why am I going to get a PhD? Speak to that element, the mental models women have about limiting the ability to aspire for certain things because they feel like, okay, I'm in this age. What am I chasing that is far from rich because I'm not in my 40s, I'm in my 50s or in my 60s. Speak to that.
That's so wrong. In every echelon of life, age doesn't matter. I have seen, I don't know whether you've watched it on social media, women of 70 who started their fitness at 50, and they are now world renowned fitness experts. But before then, they were limping, they were using stick, and they decided to give it their best. And now they have become acclaimed fitness experts. So, whatever you set your mind to do, it can be done. It's just in the mind. And I didn't for one moment think about my age. I didn't for 1 second think about it. It's true that a lot of things delayed me after my master. I did my master's 10, 12 years ago. A lot of things delayed me, you know. But as soon as this opportunity came, even when I was DPP, I was thinking of it, but there was no time. So when this time came, I gave it my best shot. And I came out strong. So age is just a number, don't they say?
Two other questions, but I'm conscious of time. Let me take my final question. No, two questions actually, but let me take this one first. I want you to speak to your younger self as at 1992 when you started practice. What are the things you know now that you would advise your younger self who was called to bar at 1992? How would you tell a young woman in law about building a versatile and a sustainable career? What do you know now that you would advise your young self to do to have an even more enriching career?
I would advise that she used that youthful energy to be voracious about knowledge before the responsibilities of life increase. Because the more you wait, the harder it becomes. Not everyone is fortunate. Not everyone is fortunate to be healthy in pregnancy. And so the young people who just like come out of school and they just want to date or just play around, do fashion and let all their time run out. It's not ideal. Not that I did that. I married so early anyway. But I wasted some time trying to find my feet because I was still so young, trying to understand marriage at 22. I had my first child at 23. So that was my limitation because I didn't know how to manage or know what to do. I was overprotected by my parents and then got married. I had a baby and I was really a baby too. So that ate some of my time. So I would say to young people that you shouldn't always rush into marriage so early. That was a bit early. I was just fortunate, I was just fortunate about it. You should have something tangible before you go into marriage. You see some people, as soon as they finish youth service, they get married, they're pregnant, they are just in the house. It's nothing as horrible for marriage as a woman just staying at home. There isn't enough resources and you're doing nothing, just carrying a baby in the house. That's a total waste. So I would say that women should not be in such a hurry to get married. At least 26, 27, before 30 years, and you should have gotten a job, maybe doing some professional course or postgraduate thing that will improve yourself, or start a business, or whatever you think to add value to your degree. Let marriage not be the first thing on the to-do list. Marriage is good, but it's not everything. In fact, it can ruin marriage when your spouse sees you as not adding anything except giving birth in the house. He won't say, but inside him there will be that resentment that you're not adding anything to the house. And every day he comes back, they're waiting with one bill or the other. you don't have anything to add. So I would say to my younger self, I wouldn't have married too early, but I was lucky I escaped it. Perhaps that's why I did my PhD so late. Ordinarily, even my supervisor was older than her, and I took a lot of, you know, disciplinary, talks from her that ordinarily should not be, but I had to bear it because of the time I wasted. That's what you get when you waste time. People, overtake you, you see. So we should maximize our time. Marriage is not everything. As soon as a girl comes out of school, she should begin to chart her life. What do you want to do quickly? Time is not on your side. You have a double responsibility of childbearing, marriage, and still to develop your career.
It's a very great feedback. Thank you. And my final question would be, what would you also advise women who feel like they are starting over? Okay. So they're at a place where maybe they are mid-career, they're transitioning to new sectors, or possibly they've been in childbearing, growing their family, and they're re-entering their careers, or maybe they're starting legal practice, or maybe they're starting a business. It could be just a new career adventure for any woman. And she's probably struggling and feeling a bit the self-confidence is low, and she's anticipating challenge. And when you analyze so much and then you don't get anything done. So you're speaking to a woman who is at that place where she's starting over after a break. What advice will you give to her?
Yeah, the advice I'll give is you keep pressing on. And no good thing comes easy. Most people who have made it, their success story doesn't come without challenges. And there's a song I know, forgotten, it's an old song, but the word says that you can get it if you really want. But you must try. Try and try. Try and try. You'll succeed at last. So you have to try. You have to push. Whatever it is in life, you must try. Is it weight loss? Is it fitness? Is it health? Nothing comes in a platter. Childbearing, bring planning family. Nothing comes on a platter. The amount of time and effort you give it is what you eventually get. But it doesn't come overnight. Sometimes you will think it's not working. But, there was a time when I started my weight loss journey, and there was a day I wept. I said, my gene does not allow weight loss. But when I started looking at old pictures, I saw there was actual change. But those who see me every day wouldn't notice. It's just, my dad calls it, daddy's girl, gradualism. Gradualism in the sense that, if I keep a bottle here and every 2 minutes I shift it, or every day I just shift it, you wouldn't know when it will move. There will be argument that this bottle was never there. It was here. It can cause a generational battle that will agree that this is the original position of that item, because of the way it gradually moved from that location to the location, because it was gradual. So there's no anything done in a rush never succeed. You just have to be patient, committed, and know that you will succeed at last, as the songwriter said. I believe that a lot. Yes.
Thank you so much. This is a fantastic wrap to our session. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge. It's been a very interesting conversation, and I'm
your
sure
questions are loaded. Not everyone can answer it. Loaded.
but that's why you are Dr. Mrs. Mbano. These questions are unique to you, because I'm sure that you would have done justice, and you have done justice. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you.